Alright, let's talk about the guy who's been taking the world by storm. Everyone is wondering, who is Nathaniel Tank Dell? Who is this guy that's getting all of this attention? Well, we'll get into the film in just a second, but I figure we should sort of set it up a little bit. So let's, I'm not going to do this with every, film study preseason video, but for this one, let's look at his PFF draft profile page. If you just look at this right here, you might be wondering, why was he even a third round selection in the first place? He was picked 70th overall, so actually early third round. He was, 23 years old when he was drafted. The PFF grades are solid, nothing to be ashamed of, but also not like otherworldly or anything. And when you factor in, basically a 4.5, right? A 4.49, only 5'8", 165 pounds. The numbers aren't particularly great. The drop rate, which was an issue when I evaluated him, I noticed I didn't love his hands personally. But I still had him as a mid-second round pick. He was my 7th favorite receiver of the draft class. There were things to like about him, and some people really liked him. And I think he showed all of those things in his first preseason game. So let's see if the Texans have potentially found something in Nathaniel/Tank Dell. Not sure exactly what to call him. PFF has it listed as Tank Dell. Google has it Nathaniel Dell. So who knows? But I'll probably call him both throughout this video. Let's get into the film. Why don't we? This is an interception. So you might be wondering, why would I show this play? But you'll understand once I show the play. So it's his route on this one. It's going to be a route going towards the sideline. And typically the way this works is you want to try to beat the corner who's on that side of the field. That's what you're trying to do here. Watch how Dell runs this route, and watch how he does not give anything away until right now. Right now is when he starts to finally give something away. So the corner who he was going up against is really fooled on this play. He's continuing to run further deep. And listen, you don't have to be the biggest. You don't have to be the fastest. If you can outsmart guys, you can consistently get open in this league. And that's what Dell did with his route running. Route running is so important, and having good route running is a way you can consistently get open. Watch how he, finishes the route well, gets open, but the safety read the play. That was Jalen Mills on that play, stepped in front of Dell and got the interception. So, okay, not ideal as a play, but again, if there was someone to keep that safety deep, that was an easy completion for Dell, and we would see him pick up some easy completions a little bit later on. But first, I want to show this play because really, Dell could have had a much better statistical day than he did. I mean, already for the preseason, this was a great statistical day for Nathaniel Dell. He ended up he ended the day with 5 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown. For a preseason performance, that's obviously very good. But he could have had even more. Like this play. Simple play. This is something you want out of a slot guy. Get open quickly over the middle. Watch how when it begins, you see him, he gets the inside leverage pretty quickly. In fact, it was available for him, so he doesn't even worry about it. He just says, okay, if you're going to give me the inside leverage, I'm going to take it. But again, the route running, right? Where, I always think about Julian Edelman as the perfect route running, receiver, especially out of the slot, and that he would never give away what he was doing until he was cutting. And that's really how, I'm not saying Nathaniel Dell is going to be Julian Edelman, but I can see the similarities in the route running and how he's also not giving anything away right now until he's just about to right now as I'm, pausing it. He's just starting to move towards the middle. But as you see, he moves towards the middle. There was an opening. It was a low throw. He wasn't able to make the grab. It kind of looked like he did, but it hopped before he got there. But he was open. Again, with a good throw, which hopefully Stroud will be able to do, he was able to make the play. This one was another great one where, listen, okay, he's someone who going to have to rely on route running typically, right? That's just what he's going to have to do. So, okay, probably just a slot guy. Those guys aren't typically able to win in these situations. With a single safety deep, one-on-one matchup on the outside, if you get someone who can win consistently here, you love it. But let's be honest, if someone with Nathaniel Dell's measurements, you're not expecting him to be able to win here, right? Well, right when this play begins, you see him, again, get that release off the line so well, and he accelerates so well that he has a ton of separation. That's something, I went back and checked my notes for Dell because I basically forget everything of my draft process, from the draft until the season starts. So I have to, refresh my memory on some of this stuff. And my biggest pro for him was his insane acceleration. Maybe he's not the fastest at a 40-yard dash, but you know what? Those first 10, 15 yards are often the most important, and he can get to a top speed so quickly that even if he's not faster than some of these players, he can still run by them as he's doing right here. Now, this throw was off, so he wasn't able to make the play, but again, a good throw there, and he's able to make the completion. And then, I mean, honestly, he could have had 100 yards in this game. Like, that was on the table for him. He just, again, I guess it's a little weird where if he makes this catch, maybe some other plays where he got yards didn't happen. But you know what I mean? He could have had a much better statistical day than he already did, which was already a very good statistical day. Something like this was another awesome one where, again, it starts off very simple, really, where it's just, quick route over the middle. You see how far off the defender who's covering him is playing. I mean, this should be a completion. Like, if this isn't a completion, the Texans have done something wrong. And you see, Mills takes the snap. He's going to hit Dell. Hey, they did a good job, right? They passed the first test. Good work, everybody. You did it. Nicely done. But now is where things get interesting. If Dell just gets tackled here, maybe is able to pick up the first down and then goes down, that's totally acceptable. I mean, that's almost what you would expect, really, I think. So, no one would be mad if that happens. However, as you see, it's that acceleration, right? He just runs by those players, and it's not until the safety comes by that he's able to go over and make the catch, He's able to just move to that top speed so quickly. It almost makes you wonder if there was something weird on the 40-yard dash day or something, because some guys do play faster than their 40-yard dash. A lot of guys play what their 40-yard dash is, but not everybody, and he's someone who, I think definitely plays faster than 4.5. I guess technically he is faster than 4.5. He's 4.49, but you know what I mean. And then let's talk about this one, which, this one is the one that I think people were going crazy over. This was the one I saw personally on my Twitter profile, or I guess my X profile. We all just still call it Twitter, right? Anyway, one-on-one matchup on the outside. You see what, this is a very fascinating play because, again, if you're a true number one receiver, you have to be able to win in these situations, right? If you can't win in these situations, okay, you can still be a very valuable piece, but you're not someone who many would consider to be a number one guy, right? When this play begins, Mills takes the snap, and you see that, he's able to carve out a little bit of separation for him. The defensive back has his back turned towards the quarterback now, so Dell can make a play on the ball, whereas the defensive back cannot. And Dell bobbles it, but still finds a way to make the catch before getting out of bounds. I think there's several ways you could look at that. For one, I would say that's a good play because you got yourself open. Now, I've had my concerns about his hands, and that was, in my opinion, a bobble. Like, that's a catch that you should make just outright, and he kind of got a little lucky that he was able to still make the grab, but also it was great concentration and great effort to hang with it and still make the catch. So I think all three things can be true. It was a great play to get open. You would like to see him just make the catch outright, but he did a good job after he didn't make the catch outright of still being able to, get a touchdown on that play. So that's kind of how I view all of that. So yeah, that's how I view Nathaniel Dell as a player in general. I thought he showed some really nice things. I think that he could be a very valuable piece to the Houston Texans. I really do, and it's part of why I'm a huge fan of drafting wide receivers in the third round. It's just as frequent a wide receiver in the third round makes the Pro Bowl as a wide receiver in the first round. So make sure you, take those guys then, because, seems like day two wide receivers still have a pretty high hit rate. At least that's what I think. What do you think about Nathaniel Tank Dell? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.